Welcome everybody to Command Combat Computer Reports, and today we have Combat Mission. That's right, I got the name right this time. You may have seen my other report recently where I said, well, I can't even remember what I named. I couldn't remember the name of the game. Actually, it's a video that I did years ago, or like 2 years ago, a year or two ago, when I first played the game, and I couldn't remember for the life of me the name of it. And since that time, I've played other games and even put them up on my channels. But that one, it took me a while to edit it and get it all together, and so anyway. But today, we are on Final Blitzkrieg. I was hoping it would be a snowy terrain, but I had the computer decide the terrain, and it was something different. I did say for it to be a light fog, and I don't see any fog, which is a little bit unusual. But anyway, the way they were doing this one, actually, it was partly the reason why the last one took a while, is because you'll notice in this particular one, we're not going to be just doing one side. Right now, you can only see the American side, but I have an American player playing the Americans here and a German player playing the Germans in a hot seat situation, and I'm narrating in between. So it takes a bit of time to do these because we have to all get together and then be able to edit them and, you know, all that sort of thing. So it takes a bit of time. But anyway, so now we have this set up, and it's going to be a mostly armored game. Both sides chose armored units, and you have the Americans here with a lot of Shermans and some, well, let's see, let's look at what all they have. They have a recon platoon over here. Actually, I think these are the armored scout cars that usually go with the tank hunters, and they have some more here as well. What are these, the Hellcats? Or, yeah, you have some Hellcats along with their armored vehicles that scout for them. And they have a recon force, so you can watch for that recon force checking down that road to find out where the Jerrys are, and using these to scout ahead for the tank hunters. You also have a bunch of Shermans with some infantry on their backs, and it's interesting, this infantry, they are straggler, or they're a straggler company or battalion. I forget whether it's a battalion or a company. Oh yeah, we have more, I forgot. Anyway, we have stragglers, and that was interesting that you could get a straggler battalion. And so the American player got those, especially because he didn't have many points after these tanks, and they're a little bit cheaper than the others. So it should be interesting to see if the stragglers are any worse than the others, but you can see that the tanks are all sort of set up here on the right side while the tank hunters are on the left. So we'll see maybe the tank hunters going over along this side to come from that way, and these Shermans probably going around this way to pinch out the other side, but they have a lot of recon in front of them to check out where the Jerrys are first. You have the remainder of the stragglers over here, and my guess is they'll probably defend this area. You can see this highlighted yellow area, that is one of the victory points. These are all the victory point positions here. You have the one on the left, you have the village, which is the middle one, and then the one up there on the top right. The Germans will probably be up there somewhere, and that will probably be their defensive place, and then the main fight will happen over the village. Should be interesting. Let's take a look to see how it goes. Actually, let's get like that for the end of the turn. And now we move on to the German setup, and as we thought, they are in this bottom corner over here, so they have this village for the easy taking. They have set themselves up in like this sort of L formation. Actually, let's first see what they have. They are, again, like I said, it's all armored, and they have a bunch of Panthers. You got 3 over here, and then let's see, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more over here. So they're outnumbered by Shermans, but of course the German tanks are just much more powerful. If they can get to the battlefield, they just dominate. So the Americans are going to really have a hard time with all this. Then they have a recon force of a lot of Kuba wagons and some infantry up here. They are also on the road, set up to be able to go up to this village, very similar to what the Americans are doing. And then, of course, you got the Panthers over here, and you have some flak vehicles for anti-air. The Americans aren't going to have any aircraft, so they're probably going to be using infantry, even though that technically is against the rules of warfare. Not too many people followed that rule. Anyway, if you didn't know that, technically you were not supposed to use anti-aircraft weapons against infantry. Anyway, so they got all that. This here is their command vehicle. And then back here, supporting everything, you have 2 Tigers, which are sort of my favorite of the German weapons. Now, actually, you usually didn't see Tigers with Panthers. You either saw a Panther battalion or a Tiger battalion. You did not see them both along with each other. But in this particular case, they were purchased. We did not do the rarity thing. Actually, I like the idea of rarity in Combat Mission. If you don't know what I'm talking about, they have an option you can put on where it's like, if this isn't the way it was done, then you cannot choose them. The problem is that it's just so, it's unclear. It just, all it does is tells you when you can't have something. It gives you the option to purchase it, and you purchase it, and then it goes, oh, you can't have that. But it doesn't even say that. It's like you'll purchase like 20 things, and it'll say you're over your rarity factor, and you don't know what was wrong, what they, you couldn't have. So it's a lot of guessing, and just takes a lot of time. So it's a bit of an annoyance. So we just sort of did, buy whatever you want, and in this case, it was some Tigers and some Panthers, which don't normally go together, but whatever. Anyway, alright, we will start next turn, start seeing them moving against each other, although they're going to have to find each other first. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of scouting to do and a lot of recon. And now everyone is off to the races. We're starting with seeing what the Germans are doing here. And kind of as predicted here, you got the recon is racing ahead up to the village. Let's see if they continue on past it. Go on to the main part of the village. Looks like it. It doesn't look like they're stopping. You have over there, you've got the Panthers are moving around their left side, and their other Panthers are moving around the right, and it looks like the anti-air guns are pushing up to this particular area. It looks like, I wonder if they're going to, yeah, it looks like they're going to take this victory. Oh, they're stopping just shy of it, and then, in fact, they're not even turning around quite yet. You got these scout vehicles have now entered the village. They're moving into there. They've gotten all the way to the crossroads and have not seen any Americans yet. The Americans, remember, are in that corner. They're stopping at the crossroads. They're taking a look around. They do not see any Americans anywhere. In fact, actually, they've not... Oh, there we go. They have made first contact. I guess that's what the German guy was shouting about. Right down that road there. In fact, you can see the guy in the passenger seat is looking right down there. Has just spotted him. And so there you've got the recon is making first contact, just looking at this guy. He's all alerted. He's like, uh-oh, look over there. We got trouble. And it's a single Jeep. Yes, folks, that is the entire American Army, at least as far as the Germans see them so far. So it should be interesting. Let's take a look from above, see where everybody has gone. So you can see that the recon has gone into the main part of the village. The rest of the recon is actually sort of getting slow. It looks like they have a bit of a traffic jam over here. This sometimes happens in combat missions. Sometimes when you have these windy roads, the cars get mixed up in their directions. And it also looks like the anti-air's gotten mixed up, but the Panthers have not. They are getting into their position. And over here you have the same thing. It might be what's going on with the Americans. It might be why they only have a single recon Jeep over there. Let's take a look. Well, it turns out we are going to see everything from the German point of view again because my incompetent ass accidentally clicked through the American turn. It's unfortunate that Combat Mission does not have the same kind of system that Total War does, where you can just do a replay video because it makes it a little bit more difficult. You have to do these at the time. It's one of the reasons why that other video just took so long to do. And as a result, I accidentally clicked through it, and I can't go back to where that was. So we're continuing on to from exactly where we were with the Germans. It's a mystery as to what the Americans are doing. I guess we'll see soon what they're doing. Now, let's just hope that I don't screw this up again, shall we? Let's push play on this. Oh, geez, there are Americans right up next to them. It's like the Twilight Zone. Oh, the Americans are going right through them and shooting at them as they're driving through. The Germans are trying to get inside. They're getting shot with machine gun fire. And the Germans are shooting back. They're hitting some of them. Ooh. Oh, yeah, there's grenades going off at them. Oh, the Americans are in trouble. Looks like it is a regular recon fight where you've got a bunch of people, both sides have gotten in there, and they're shooting back and forth of them. Oh yeah, and the Germans have gotten the better of them, and they have taken positions. Actually, this is what happens when you have, one of the sides is a little bit closer than the other one. That other one gets in there and gets fortified, and it looks like the Americans are a little slower, and There's fire coming over from the right. The Germans have gotten their tanks into position and are firing down at the recon who are trying to reinforce. This is going to be very difficult for the Americans because now they have Germans in position. Oh, and the Americans that got through have now gotten hit. They're recon that have gotten through. And you now have these American vehicles that are starting to come into sight and are going to be targets for those Panthers up there. So it's going to be kind of tough for the Americans. Let's see how they're going to handle this. Okay, the American vehicles, this is from the American point of view. The American recon has come in here, as we can see. They're getting shot from every direction. They've gone in there. Yeah, we saw this, and they just kind of got themselves plastered. The Germans took position here. Let's take a look at what's going on behind them. Okay, we have the recon has gone up here and installed. They are seeing what's happening there, and they don't want any part of it. Back here, where's the rest of their recon? It is slowly starting to. These guys are a bit slow. They've gotten off the road there, but now some of them are coming up. They, for some reason, have gone off the road rather than using the road, which is really ridiculous. This is another thing that sometimes combat mission has a little bit of a problem with. Sometimes you tell them specifically go down a road and they go off the road. And now look at that, they've gotten in their own way. So the Americans are kind of like the Keystone Cops over here. Meanwhile, over here on the right, they're moving up. They sent some of their scout vehicles over to scout these trees, others to go over here. Remember, we did not know for certain where the Germans would be coming out of. They have now spotted one of the German Panthers up here, so they now know that they're going to be firing at them from that position. But they only know about one. They do not know about the rest, so they might think that the Germans are weak on the right. They have a couple of scout vehicles over there, and they've not yet spotted them. Let's see how it goes. Back to the Germans, and they are moving up into their position. It looks like the Tigers, as their reserve, are now moving over to the left. They're probably going to make their push over there. The Panthers are moving up into position here, and yeah, they are starting to spot some of those recons still on their way. Yeah, and they're shooting at them to take them out. The German recon, meanwhile, is taking position over here, fortifying their position inside of the village. Looks like the recon is either taking out or pulling back. But their recon over on the American right flank, the German left, is taking position and hitting them inside the village, and actually hitting their interior line as the looks like the Kuba wagons are trying to get parked, and they're not going to be able to. They do not have anything in there that can take them out. And it looks like, oh, you have more scout vehicles, more American scout vehicles over there, and they have hit that Kuba wagon. They're hitting them from behind. They're coming in from their behind. This is definitely a recon fight, folks. They've taken out a couple of Kuba wagons, and this one is damaged. Yes, that's what recon is all about. Fast movement, hitting one another from positions they did not expect one another. They are certainly light weapons, but they are fast-moving vehicles getting into positions that you do not expect. What do the Germans have coming up? Oh, they do have their Panthers, which are going to be able to definitely take on those recon vehicles. They are now unbuttoned so they can see where they are, and you are going to see some major damage on those recon vehicles. But they definitely did a great job of coming up behind those Germans. Meanwhile, over here we can see that they're starting to bring some vehicles up. They can see what the recon are. They can see plainly they have which ones they are. They've got a bazooka guy in there. Usually you can't even see what kind they have. You just see there's a Jeep. But they're actually starting to see what's in there. So, and yeah, you can even see the Panthers have come up onto the hill. Oh, and they have their anti-aircraft gun up here as well. That is going to do some major damage to whatever recon is still coming. The Americans are definitely going to need to bring up their armored vehicles to really do something here. Seeing the same thing from the American side, let's see what goes on here. You can see that their recon vehicles are trying to move up to there, but of course if they go up there, they're going to... there they go. They're stopping before they get into view of those Panthers that are over there. It's funny, they can see just the one. The others are moving into position. You can see these recon positions getting into position, or these recon vehicles getting into position behind. The Germans don't have any idea. They think they have taken the town safe and securely, however you want to say it. They're getting into position, getting behind those German lines, getting themselves ready, and they're not firing quite as quickly as I thought. There we go. Now they're starting to get the German recon as they're trying to fortify the town. The Germans think they have it, but instead they are just getting chopped up as they go in. You can see some of the American vehicles back there are also shooting at them. You can see the tank hunters are starting to move up into position. Looks like they're going to get up onto this hill and maybe fire back at those German Panthers. They can see them there. Oh, the recon sees that they're there. But the American, well, they're continuing on, so I don't know quite where they're going. I don't know if they see them quite yet. They're trying to move into position, but they are not quite ready yet. And now from the German point of view, we're continuing on with this tale. Oh, here, there we go. Looks like these Panthers are just chewing up, yeah, they're really chewing up that recon force that's trying to pull back, not giving them a chance. Well, now they can start seeing some Shermans are pulling around on their left side. Those Shermans that have some of the infantry on the back of them, and yeah, those recon vehicles are trying to pull back and getting pounded by Panthers, probably on both sides, because these are getting into position, getting right into the position where they can see those Shermans. In fact, though they cannot personally see them, being told by others, but apparently they are not far enough forward, so they're going to have to do that later. But it looks like the American Shermans are getting across safely without these Panthers being able to do much to them. They are instead firing at that recon, which is still trying to pull back. Some of them are starting to push forward here. That is no doubt one of those things where they are not doing what they were told to do, because that was a dumb move. But of course, sometimes you tell somebody in this game to do one thing and they will do it slightly differently. So anyway, this is where we have it at the moment. We can see that the Germans have taken the village. There is one American vehicle, but I think it is pretty much knocked out there. You have the recon over here on the German left, which is pulling back but getting chopped up as they do it. Reinforcements trying to come in and getting hit as they go along. The Germans, meanwhile, not only have fortified their position in the village, but have also fortified their position with their tanks on both flanks of it. Real quick, I just want to take a look here. It looks like, yes, the infantry is getting inside of those buildings. They've also gotten the infantry in there. So unless the Americans can push them out, they are going to take that village and probably win this game. From the American point of view, you see more of that recon getting chopped up. It looks like everybody's trying to pull back. You can even see that they have a tank destroyer over here that, oh, hey, they are firing as they go. Apparently the Germans did not see him. He is pulling back, so that he's safe there. And he also has some more Hellcats getting jammed up on the road here, but going forward. You see part of that Hellcat platoon was over here somewhere. That would have been the, yeah, there we go, scout vehicle scouting for the Hellcats. For some reason is going off the wrong direction. Yeah, looks like they were supposed to be finding a place for the Hellcats to come out and went completely the wrong direction. Yeah, you can see they're firing at the Panthers as if to say, I'm here, shoot me. Meanwhile, over here, you saw the scout cars. Yes, they're all pulling back as they're getting shot. But you have these, yeah, the Shermans are making a run across this field, as we saw before. The Panthers were just not far enough up to see them. Could have been taking them out as they go, but instead, the Americans are getting across that field. And it looks like the ones with infantry on them are in the back, while the ones without took the lead to see if they could get shot. They did not. But here's the problem, is the turn has just ended. The Germans have figured out their mistake, and so the ones without infantry now have gotten across. They probably think it's safe now, and just as the German Panthers are going to realize their mistake and start pulling forward. On the German side, let's look at what is really important over here. Oh, I forgot about these Tigers, these two Tigers that are over here. This is going to be some real problems for the Americans, because this is right where those Shermans are sneaking across that right side. They're going to go run across, and just as predicted, these Panthers are getting into position, so now they can hit those Shermans going across that field. Those Shermans are filled with infantry, and yes, the Panthers are firing at them now, or at least one of them did. You saw that the scout cars seem to go into those woods there, and these Tigers are back there. The Americans have no idea about them, so even if they come and get across there, they're going to have to deal with them. Oh, here comes a Sherman shot, but of course the Sherman shots are nothing compared to a Panther shot. Oh, and they're getting distracted with the recon there. That has been the best purpose of the recon, is they have been a major distraction for the Germans when they really should be firing at the American larger, like the more important forces. They have been distracted with those that recon force. Right there, you had a Panther could have been firing at the Shermans going across, but instead he was firing at this already destroyed American vehicle, recon vehicle. In the center, they have definitely gotten themselves into position. They have locked themselves down there. And over there, we saw that they pulled back, and so these Panthers over here really haven't had a lot to do. They've gotten themselves into position. Looks like the anti-aircraft guns are struggling to get into position, but they definitely have a line here, and so it's going to be hard for the Americans to break that. But it looks like they have made their move way across that field, and so these Germans are going to have to deal with that now that they have the, now that they're in the trees. Now, of course, the Shermans are going to have to deal with being bogged down, but they are going to be able to become much closer, and the Germans are either, we can take a look at it up here. It's up here at this top. This is where they've gotten across the field. Looks like they made it all the way across. Now they're going to be able to make it across here and get a flank on them. Of course, the Germans will turn to face them, but at much closer quarters, which is where the Shermans want to be. This was their chance to hit them and destroy them before they got anywhere near, which was kind of a missed opportunity there. Looking at that same rush from the American side, let's play through it. Yeah, you can see they are making their rush through there. The German vehicles, now they're making themselves seen. They can, in fact, the Americans know that they're up there, and they are trying to get by as quickly as possible. Now there are even more of them getting into sight, and the Americans are going to go ahead and just try to turn at them with a lot of those stragglers on board. They're taking shots, which they would never be able to do anything to them. But they are rushing across there. They're going to get across, as we see. Okay, over here, we know there are a lot of vehicles, but the Germans couldn't see them. That is because they are behind that ridge there. And they have their tank hunters all getting into position. They are now in position. They have 4 of them. They are going to be able to come up and go either at the after the Panthers on the right or left. It looks like the ones on the right might be hard to see, but they will be able to go after the ones on the left. So it's going to be an interesting thing to see over there. They have a lot of the scout vehicles just sort of hidden back there waiting. The main push were these Shermans, which are now moving across. They are, as predicted, going into those woods. It's going to be a question now as to what they do with that. They have some scout vehicles going into there. Doesn't look like anybody's gotten bogged yet. Let's look here. We can see, yeah, no one's gotten bogged, so now it's going to be a question of can they get in those woods, or are they just going to have to skirt around the edges of them? And now on the German point of view, it looks like they are shifting. Oh, big shift over here. Looks like the Panthers are backing off. They saw that the Shermans have gotten by and know that they're going to be coming on their flank, so they are getting themselves into position, waiting for the Shermans to come out of that. Looks like they're not afraid of anything from the field, which of course is locked down from everything over here, and it looks like they're finally getting their anti-aircraft guns into position. So they're going to count on those. They're on their right holding the center, and their infantry holding the center, and it looks like these Panthers on the left are going to recognize that the Shermans are coming in this direction and just going to get ready for them. Looks like, yeah, and the American tanks are already starting to move up here. What did they shoot? I don't even see what they would have shot. Oh, okay, looks like they're shooting at the infantry from that angle. The Panthers do not necessarily have them. Oh, shooting back at them there. The Panthers from the other side got a penetrating hit. What did they hit over here? They took out one of the Shermans. The Shermans are already making their move on their side. Looked like they were trying to take on these Panthers, which got out of position so they wouldn't hit them. And these Panthers over here turned and met them. And as predicted, Panther versus Sherman, the Panther is going to win. It did a big hit on that Sherman. Looks like these guys are getting into position and ready. Thought they would probably come. It looks like the Panthers expected them to come out of these woods all the way over here, which I kind of did, but it looks like instead they're coming around this side. They might have guessed right that the Panthers would turn to position to catch them from the woods, and they were going to come around the flank, but coming down to that valley, they are getting themselves hit. Looks like they've only gotten one hit, but this other one is going down to that valley, and it is in a bad position. Oh, there's something else that's burning. Oh, that scout vehicle that was destroyed earlier. And yeah, that is definitely burning. And there's some others back there. It looks like they are making a run for it. The Tigers as well was getting into position, so they were getting in position for a full attack over here. But as I said, it came from over there. They do not see anything else in the center. It looks like the center quieted down, and the Germans kind of realize it. Shown from the American point of view, let's take a look. So you can see over here that this guy is, this one is over here. All the rest of them are actually starting to make a move around the far side. Looks like the scout vehicles are actually going into the woods saying, hey, there's a way. Oh, wait, they're slowing down. No, they are getting there. But the Shermans are going, no, screw that. We're going to go after a direct assault here. We're going to go get them from over here, which is not a very wise decision. Again, I've played this before. There are times you will say, go through this direction, and they will find a way around rather than going where they want to go. Over there, it looks like they're continuing to get themselves into position, but the real attack is happening here. They're going through their smoke cover, which was a great smoke line that they had in position, but now they come out of here,
vehicles in here,
And they're hitting something. I didn't really see that. It was probably, yet again... Oh, they're shooting... Oh, they are hitting the anti-aircraft gun. So, yeah, that anti-aircraft gun is getting hit. But, of course, here comes the Panther shot, which completely annihilates that Sherman. And the Shermans over here, they're all going after them, which is not a good idea. They're going to have to pull back behind that smoke screen. And now for the Germans here. We have the firing going back and forth. It is going on to the next turn. Ooh! The Sherman on the way back did get a good hit. Oh, there we go, and the Panther has gotten a good hit back. But they took out a half-track and an anti-aircraft gun, but that is not enough. They took out 2 Shermans for those. That was not a good trade. Did cause the... Oh, there we go. Oh, and some armor's folding. Oh, is that shot's coming? And there, Hellcats have come up over. They've got a penetrating shot on, another one of the anti-aircraft guns. But they are hitting the Panthers there. Looks like, however, they've gotten one of the Hellcats. Oh, it is bouncing off the front armor. The Hellcats are not doing anything to these Panthers. Oh, there we go. There they got a penetrating hit, causing them to pull back, but not doing a lot. Their machine gun fire and the regular fire hitting, but bouncing off mostly, doing just only minimal damage. They did come up over that hill, but you are seeing the German armor superiority to the American armor. This is not good for the Americans. They really need artillery in this. The Shermans are trying to pull back. They did manage to get everybody back except for those 2 tanks. So that was at least good for them to get all that back. At least they didn't lose their entire platoon. However, they are definitely in the disadvantage. They only took out a couple of half-tracks, which are useless to the Germans at this point. It looks like they took out the anti-aircraft gun, but there is no aircraft in this, and they just managed to make some of these guys back up a little bit. But it looks like dismounted. Well, that will be temporary. That Panther will probably get back in. Meanwhile, did they get anything on the American side? I guess we will see during their turn, but it looks like no, they are in position. Let's see it from their point of view. Alright, we're going to see it from the Hellcats' point of view as they come up over this hill. Let's see them get up there. You can see off in the distance the fight going on with the Shermans. They are looking the wrong way. It is the perfect time for the Panthers to strike. Looks like they put some recon up there as well, so they can help them spot these, and the Hellcats are going in there. Looks like they are not unbuttoned, however, which is unfortunate for on their part. But they have gotten into position. You can see that the whole form are there. They are firing. They are hitting something up there. Oh yeah, they've gotten that half-track over there. They are choosing their targets, but a lot of it is bouncing off. And they're getting a couple dents into the armor. Not doing enough. They are causing some of them to run off. Let's meanwhile look at this armor here on this side. What are they doing? It looks like the Shermans are definitely backing off there. They don't know exactly what to do. They definitely cannot go from around that front. Some of them are sneaking around the side here. The scouts have found a way to sneak around this particular direction. Looks like, however, are they stuck? It does not look like it, so they might have a way through the woods way back here. They would have to do a long run around. The Germans would have plenty of time to counter, but we've seen what happens when they try to go around this direction, so that is just not going to work out for them. Back to the German side, and the firing goes back and forth. Now it is shifted over this direction, with the Panthers over here trading shots with the Hellcats over there, and yeah, it looks like the battle of the animals here. Oh, it looks like it's going both directions. The Hellcats are firing at both of them. The Panthers over here are backing up. Looks like that guy's there, pulling back. That guy's dismounted. Now that is destroyed. That is one Panther gone on the German right flank. It looks like the Hellcats came out at just the right position. Looks like there's some commanders going over here, about to be run over by a truck. What a way to go in the middle of a war, get run over by your own truck. Ooh, just missed over here. It looks like it bounced off, one of the Hellcat shots bounced off the weapons mount. It looks like the Panthers are shifting so that they can get into a better position from which to fire. However, that is going to make them vulnerable over here at the woods if the Americans can figure out how to go through the woods. So they are taking that chance, though, to get up on this higher hill to shoot at those Panthers that are, or those Hellcats that are really, really pestering them at this point. I'm getting all of my cats mixed up. Same thing from the American point of view here. These are the... Oh, that was a close shot. Close call. And shooting at... Oh, wow. Alright, and they're shooting their machine guns as well. Firing down at the town while they shoot their big guns up at the Panthers. Finally doing some damage. Finally doing something. Oh, and it looks like they are actually starting to move their recon back towards the town there while the Hellcats give them cover. That is a good move. Because if, you know, it really is now or never for them, they're not going to get another chance to do this while the, oh, no, but someone still fired at them. They looked, I guess the Americans thought, well, we're going to get through because nobody's going to deal with us, but someone did. At least, though, they are being a distraction from the Hellcats. Nobody's going to fire the Hellcats while, or they're not going to fire the Hellcats while they're firing at the recon. Meanwhile, the Americans are trying to find their way back. It looks like the recon has come back and told them there is not a way through, which is very unfortunate for the Americans because this is, you know, this is their one way through. Yeah, both of the scout vehicles are coming back, and that is a bad sign because they were ordered to go all the way through there. However, they are ordered to go all the way through here. They did. It seems like they did get to this part, so the Americans might still be able to get through to the road and do a partial flanking attack on them. That's going to be a big issue because, as we said before, going around to the front wasn't exactly going to work unless they did it while being under cover, which actually is happening right now. By the time they got back around here, it would be too late. So we're just going to have to see if the American Shermans can make their way around these woods. And back to the Germans. They are moving themselves around once again. And, oh! Looked like they were trying to get in a position and got hit once again. And got immobilized by the Hellcats. It looked like even a machine gun fire. I'm not sure if they were 50 cal or what, but yeah, they are hurting them and hitting them while they are on the move. That is the way to do it because then you get those side shots. But now the Panthers are coming back and getting shots back. We will see when we look at the Americans how they do, and shots are bouncing off there. Looks over like over here, they're getting back up into position. Shots once again are bouncing off. They will not bounce off when they hit the Hellcats, that's for sure. But I'm not sure. Oh, it looks like they got another penetration. Is that a destroyed tank? That is another Panther taken out. Those Hellcats are really knocking them out here. Got an immobilized one, a destroyed one, and one that is getting scared and getting out of there. It looks like these the Hellcats may actually do this. May be the ones to clear it out while the Shermans go in to, you know, mop up. However, you do still have the two Tigers that the Americans do not know about, so we're going to have to see how well this goes. Watching from the American point of view, of course, we are going to want to watch these Hellcats and see how well they do. Oh, that first one hit a tree. And there's those shots going. We can see that some of the scouts are continuing to move. The recon is continuing to move. These shots are coming close. That would be nerve-wracking to be in these Hellcats. You are outnumbered. You only have 3, and their shots, when they hit you, they're just like hitting paper. They are just knocked out. However, they're hitting the... Oop, oh, there we go, and that took out one of the Hellcats. That's what I'm talking about. If they get one hit, it's just like hitting paper. They are just done for. So, you only have 2 Hellcats left, but they are doing plenty of damage. You meanwhile can see the recon down there moving up. And the Hellcats are slowly moving, adjusting their fire and hitting some of those Panthers, taking them out. Meanwhile, you have these Shermans are slowly making their way around, trying to find their way through these woods. And it is just very slow going. If they can even get through, they might get bogged down. It's like not even certain how worthwhile it is. They are having to go so slowly through there. But it's, again, one of those things where when you go through the front, they're just going to get massacred. And they've got no smoke to bombard down. They didn't bring artillery. From the German point of view, and now they're starting to take some losses too, and you can see one of their Panthers is pulling back. Oh, and they got a shot in there. Penetration on one of the Hellcats. Is that going to destroy it? Oh, didn't look like... Oh, it looks like he got one on... I got a penetration on one that was already destroyed, but now knocked out another Hellcat. So they are down to 1 Hellcat. That is a big one for these Panthers there. They have they got 3 in a row right there against 2 Hellcats. Yes, the Hellcats are powerful in shooting, but not in terms of taking hits. and that one's shooting over there. Not sure exactly what kind of damage they're doing, but these 3 Panthers have held the line. They may have gotten scared, may have been taking some damage from them, but they have managed to hold on to this. Is that Hellcat moving back? Yes, it is. It is too much for that, and it's going to be getting out of there. So the Germans have won the long-range fight between the Panthers and the Hellcats. There are still, there's this Panther, there's one of these Panthers, I think this is the one, his gun is knocked out, and so he cannot shoot. So 1 Panther still on its right flank, 3 still on its left, and you still have the 2 hidden Tigers, which the Americans don't even know about. We don't even know how well the Americans are doing over there trying to get their Shermans through the woods. Let's go see. Getting a nice close-up on the Hellcats there as this shooting goes along. There's some people retreating in the background. They're doing heroic. They're really taking out a lot of those Panthers, but they took 1 hit, survived its miraculous. Nope, there we go. That destroyed it. I thought they took a 2nd hit as well. And the other one is trying to do something, but oh wow, that takes another hit. There was, okay, so the first one knocked it out. It was just 2 hits, and the other one just, they both destroyed it. The second one just made it burn, and now these guys see the thing burning. They're like, we're out of here. So let's see how well these Shermans are doing coming around here. They are no longer going to have their Hellcats from the front. So they are slowly making their way through these woods. They are not going to have as much of a flank as they had hoped. In fact, they might be going directly up to the front of those Panthers, but at least they'll have less of a distance to travel. And they are actually managing to make it through. They're about at the road now. The front one has gotten to the road, so they will be able to go up, and they will have 1 Hellcat to help distract from the other side, but that won't be very much. We'll see if it's enough. And now for the German side, it looks like the Americans did do 1 shot back. I thought the Hellcat had pulled far enough back, but they looks like it might have, its turret might just barely be up over that hill and is firing back. You do have, oh yeah, and he was showing, and now the last Hellcat has been knocked out. That is it for them. Their scout vehicle was up forward and is now pulling back. So now the Americans have nothing on that front flank. All they're going to have is this attack with all of the Shermans, and since they're having trouble getting through these woods, they're not even going to be able to go through these woods. They're going to have to come out almost single file around this road. So I don't know if they're going to have much of a chance. The Germans just have to sit here and wait for them to come out. They know where they're coming from, and now they're hitting the last of the scout vehicles. There were only, I think, 2 of them left. 1 of them now has been knocked out. There is just not very much hope left for these Americans. They're going to hold the northwest road probably, but actually they don't, not necessarily. The Germans might come in and take that too. Watching the American Hellcat here, let's see what happened. Look, oh, it looked like they went, oh, they backed up and got caught, not on the fence, but they didn't want to go into, oh, there we go, they're throwing out smoke because they know when they're in trouble. They didn't want to go in this field where they'd get bogged, but as a result, they are not completely behind the and there they got hit from the side. That is really unfortunate. All of them got killed. It was the entire group just got wiped out. That's the thing about the American Hellcats, or American anti-tank, tank hunters, just have no armor. And here these guys are going to get hit as well. They only have a few seconds left to live. Hope you liked your life, guys.
Watch out, enemy tank.
Yeah, I'd say, and they're backing up into that fence as well. Not a good thing. And in their case, the fence is actually coming. Oh, and here we go. Now you got some. There we go. Some mortar fire coming out there, and that wasn't what took them out. That was, of course, the tank. But I saw some mortar fire starting to come in. Not sure it's going to do very much, but probably go in on that village. This really was a tank battle, and it looks like the Germans are really winning it. The Americans still have all these Shermans, and maybe they can do an assault if they get all their Shermans up there. But it is really going to be a trial for them. Alright, looking at it from the German point of view here, and it looks like they now are moving over their anti-tank guns, or anti-aircraft guns over to this side. Where is that firing coming from? Somebody shooting somewhere? I don't see anything at this point. I mean, it sounded like someone was even getting hit. Oh, okay, that's the that mortar fire I was talking about. The Americans have some mortars back there, shooting it into the town. Oh, and then over here they're going through these hedgerows. And they're adjusting over here because clearly they know this is not going to be a surprise. They know the Americans are going to come through there pretty soon. And they will be close, but, you know, that's where the whole attack is going to come from. In fact, I think I may just skip ahead to that. I think I'll just not record for a little bit, let the players get a little bit further ahead and just kind of go to that, you know, cut to the chase, because that's clearly going to be where the important thing is. Once this assault comes, once the Americans try to break through here, because the Germans can stay right where they are and win. I mean, certainly they could get a major victory by going up there and taking that building, but they don't necessarily know what's up there, and they would be taking a chance on losing what they currently have, which is enough to win the game. So, the Americans have to make their move, and it's clearly coming from those woods, so we'll just jump ahead to when that happens. Actually, I lied. I'm going to show you just a little bit here, just show you that the Americans have broken through those woods and have made it onto that road. So you can see that they're actually on the road now, or at least one of them is, and the rest of them are starting to get on that road. So they're going to be coming down here, and the Germans do not know whether they're going to come through these woods here. That's interesting. You can actually hear the other ones going through the... Oh, the hedges. They're going through the hedges here as well. Anyway, the Germans don't know if they're going to come through this row here or down the road. The Americans know they really can't get through those woods. They're just too thick, so they're going to be coming down the road there. So, looks like they're parking there, and they're going to get themselves lined up and go for the assault. So, we're going to just cut to the chase and show right where the actual assault happens.
Contact! Enemy armor ahead!
Alright, the attack is not started yet, but there's a couple important things to note.
Fire
What's going on
protect.
here is
Out.
you have a couple of the scout vehicles tried to go around the side here, got spotted through the woods by those Panthers somehow, and they somehow saw this one tank up here on the road. Now, can't figure out how they saw them, but apparently there's a tree that we see there that isn't actually there. Not sure how that happened, but anyway, so killed that, and everybody who was on it hadn't gotten off yet. The other tanks are lining up behind them, getting ready for whatever assault they're going to do, and the infantry, some of it's running away from that burning wreck, the others are getting into position. But here's something else that's going on, is the town is starting to get bombarded. I think we might have missed the shots there. There we go. We can see the mortars starting to come down on the city. The infantry that's on there, in there. Not sure it's doing a lot of good. They can't really see them, but it was clear that these scout vehicles were getting in for an assault on the town. At the same time, these tanks were going to go, but looks like the Germans just see them too well and took out a tank and a scout vehicle. Alright, jumping ahead, and I just wanted to start on this freeze frame of the Panther firing. It just happened to stop right there. Oh, apparently it can see the tanks that are up here, so it's probably going to be firing at them, which makes it a perfect time for them to start assaulting. Let's see if... I'm not sure if that shot is perfectly on target. It looks like it might be on target. We'll see here in just a moment. The Tigers have just, or the Germans have just done their turn, so let's go ahead and see what happens. You can see the way they're set up. They just have a line of the Panthers set up there, along with the anti-aircraft guns. They're ready for all of those tanks and that infantry to come through there. Oh, and that did hit. It was the perfect time to fire, although was that the one that was already hit? I'm not quite sure. Well, we're going to see here soon. They're all lined up, and apparently that one, Panthers further back, is lined up as well. They are shooting into those trees, hitting infantry, hitting, looks like it's that same tank. I don't know why they're still continuing to shoot the flaming tank. I guess it's an easy target, not moving, and the flames are telling everybody where it is. And here comes one single Sherman down there. Not the entire row of them. That is one of the problems with attacking through woods, is you do get broken up, which is realistic. However, also in this game, you have a tendency of... Oh, and there's the scout vehicles making their run for it, getting shot down by these Panthers. Perfect time for the Shermans to come through, but once again, they're coming through very broken up. Looks like you got a penetration there to destroy them. Yes, looks like it might have taken them out. This next one coming up now, they are just coming in piecemeal, bit by bit. Again, because you're coming through those woods, yes, realistically, that is partially what would happen, but it is also partly because you'll tell everybody to go coordinated, and then because of the game, they'll kind of send them in through piece by piece, and it doesn't help that you have this line of Panthers just lined up waiting for them. seeing it from the American point of view. Oh yes, that did hit the one that, or one of them that hadn't gone through yet, so that's one of them down. The rest are trying to get through there, but they're just getting slowed. Some are getting slowed by hedgerows, some by the basic grass in there, so this is just not a good place to perform an assault. It's not a good tank country. Again, the Shermans are in a bad position, because if they went through open country, they'd get knocked down if they came along, and trying to go through the woods, they are getting themselves separated. So, yeah, you see them just getting broken up there. The infantry, too, is getting broken up and beginning to retreat. It is looking just hopeless for the Americans. And it looks, oh, yeah, then there's that front tank got hit. And it's just, there's very little hope for them. I mean, even if they got through at this point, I don't know that they really have enough to take out those. And there's another one got down. 1, 2, 3 of them taken down just this turn alone. You see one of them running up there. We're probably looking for another turn or two, but this is probably over. Oh, and you see the Jeep that was running in to try to at least contest the objective has now gotten hit. You do have a couple of American vehicles that are down there, but they, you know, with nothing being able to hide from those Panthers, I doubt they're going to do much. Basically, it looks like the Americans tried to do a three-prong attack. Send their infantry up here. They couldn't do anything to the Panthers, but that would at least distract them in one direction. Send their scout vehicles around there, which again can't do anything to the Panthers, but at least it would distract them. And then send the Shermans up, but that did not distract the Panthers enough. They've been taking out the Shermans while also scaring away the infantry and the scout vehicles. They've kind of been performing all-purpose duty here. Watching from the German side, and they are finally bringing in those Tigers, driving through the tree right there. Just sort of finish this off, and they're taking out the last of those scout vehicles. But yeah, they're going to show that they have Tigers here. Oh man, bright view of that Sherman who was taking a shot, but I doubt doing very much. And that's just going to, they're just going to bring up these Tigers just to the ending of this. And there we go, that Sherman was stopping, and then it's getting hit. It's only going to continue moving. They're hitting these Panthers in the front, but not doing anything. Yeah, without the tank carriers, there's just no hope for them. They're just chopping up the Americans there. Knocking them down as they can. And it looks like they are still coming up piecemeal. Just finishing off those Shermans. That is really going to finish it off. They're shooting the crew as they run away. There's one Sherman that's running, going pretty quickly through the woods. He kind of went the fastest through the woods. I'm going to run back just a little bit here. Take a look. Wow, now look at that. Look at how fast he's moving through the so if they had actually just gone through the woods instead of around the road, they actually would be moving faster than on the road. That just, that just does it for you, doesn't it? And now, so he's moving up there, but also look at the difference in the gun. You can just see size there versus size here. And as the ladies will tell you, size does matter, folks. And the battle is over, but I'm just going to run it through the American turn as we kind of give the post-mortem here. And yeah, you can already one of the scout vehicles taken out. This one's going over here. To the objective, and even it's taken out. And it just becomes sad as these Shermans go up one by one, getting hit. Essentially, I'm not sure what the Americans could have done. This is just, it's one of those times when it just doesn't seem like the scout, points really add up. I do like how this Sherman just barely came out, saw there was a Tiger tank, and then got destroyed. Just Tigers, it's time for us to get out of here. And the Panthers. When you have this many Panthers and Tigers versus, this many Shermans, it just does not. I know that you had a bunch of Shermans, but in this kind of a situation, I guess the one thing the Americans could have done at this point was to just simply run them across the field, not try to be tricky and get them across here and then come from the side where their armor would just be piecemeal through these woods, but instead just go straight at them. They're going to take some losses, but they do have the numbers, or at least a few more. Maybe they could have done something while their Hellcats were giving covering fire. That would maybe distract the Panthers or cause them to not be able to shoot quite as much at them, or at least not as effectively, and maybe get up to them. But again, just with this many Panthers and Tigers and just the really heavy armor of the Germans, the Americans really didn't have much they could do. This is why the Americans typically took them on infantry versus armor. And I guess it makes sense. When you have an armor battle, usually the Germans are going to win. If it's just, if you don't have the combined arms, if you just have armor versus armor, makes sense. Germans are usually going to win because that's what they specialized in. Anyway, but that's the end of our battlefield. We hope you enjoyed it. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to subscribe, and happy gaming, everybody.